House of the Dragon is finally back. So, how was that first episode? Well, if you ask me, it was nothing short of fantastic. I've always been a massive Game of Thrones fan, and I dearly loved the first season of House of the Dragon. It returned the franchise to something closer to the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones, with a real focus on the political dramas of Westeros, exploring nuanced, deep characters riddled with flaws and tragedies as they navigate a dark, brutal world. This was the bread and butter of the early seasons of Game of Thrones, and was ultimately why, with hindsight, they were the strongest seasons of that series. House of the Dragon was very much a return to that form, so it's no surprise then that it was able to garner such love and praise from critics and fans alike. From this first episode, it seems that season 2 is a continuation of this, picking up pretty much right where season 1 ended, exploring the aftermath of Aegon's accession and the murder of Jaehaerys Targaryen at the hands of Aemon Targaryen and his dragons. There's a deep emphasis in the show's writing to explore the effects of recent events on the characters, both on the sides of the Greens and the Blacks, further adding to the depth of this story, enabling the audience to truly be immersed in this world. As expected, the cast are just as exceptional as they were last season. For me, in season 1, Paddy Considine's King Viserys was the standout character and performance, and I was a little apprehensive to see how the show would feel now that those events are moving further into the past, therefore making his character less crucial to where the story is headed. However, I'm delighted to say that whilst both his character and performance will forever be cherished, the rest of the show's characters and cast really step up to the mark, creating a compelling and engaging narrative that I found myself rooting for certain characters and feeling strongly about others, which is a mark of not only great writing, but great acting too. The show also continues to flesh out the world of Westeros in the era of House of the Dragon. It's fascinating and fun to see recognizable Game of Thrones locations pop up in this prequel, giving an insight into how they were in the past. In conclusion, then, the first episode of House of the Dragon Season 2 is indicating that it's going to continue the fantastic start that Season 1 had and really run with it this season. From where I am right now, it's currently 3 a.m., and there's no other show that I would wake up, watch, and review if I didn't feel so passionately for it. And having watched the first episode of Season 2, I can certainly say that I do not regret that decision. So that should tell you something about the quality of this episode, if nothing else. So that was my take on the first episode of Season 2 of House of the Dragon. If you loved the first season, then obviously watch it. And if you haven't watched the first season, then what better time to start than now? If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and keep an eye out for my spoiler review of this episode. It will be coming along shortly. Thank you.